viewer. Yeah. So,
Hmm. Kung kanina, okay na sana yun. Medyo may nanonood na eh. Wala daw welcome back sabi ni ni Tony Jabs.
I think it's better now. Welcome back. Are we good? Ba't naghang naman yung ano? Pa-check nga Johnny Depp kung if we're back on... Naputol nga. Ay, nako. Ngayon pa nagloko, no? Ganun talaga, no?
Hindi nag-aano eh.
We have
Hindi
a
na
new...
nag-aano sa akin.
May bago na tayong
Lang.
link. Pa-share na lang. Guys, pa-share.
Watching na ako.
Yeah, pa-share na lang. We've had some technical difficulties. So, sorry for that one. Nawala tayo. Pa-share. We'll get back to the guys in there. Let's see. I think we are here. I'll just close this one na, Johnny Depp, tapos balik na tayo doon.
GG.
Um,
I think we already
Ready to go?
up. I think we already have it up. Yeah.
yeah. Hi guys, sorry for that one. We've had some technical difficulties. I could not run. Let's just wait for some viewers. I created a new link. We've had some problems. That's why I called Johnny Depp for the help. So, shout out to everyone who's in here. We have White Knife. Kindly share White Knife for the new link. We've had some technical difficulties.
What's up, white wife, white knife? I mean, white knife.
White Wife.
Wow.
I keep, you know.
Also, I
make
keep
you
on
happy
reading
today.
his name like that one. White Wife.
White wife.
White Wife. Shout out to all our viewers. Kindly share, guys. Actually, I made a stream. I think it was yesterday, and I've run through the latest post of Freddy. Let's just share. Let's just wait for the viewers. We have Nax Remis. Wow, what a name. So, guys, good. Actually, it's evening now, but it's kind of still daylight. But yeah, it's nighttime already for some people. And in here we have our team from Project Ace, of course. We have Ace of Hearts. We have Damien Wolf and Johnny Depp. And kindly share, guys. We have our special guest, of course. We have Great Taichu. He'll be answering all your questions with regards to the latest update, latest developments, and who knows, if you have some questions, he might spill some more beans. I've watched the AMA with the Crypto Beard and I've run through it. I made I think I replayed the video if ever I don't understand what was the question, and then go back on onto your answer, and then I break down all of your answers into our group and into our GC. That's why I mean I was able to give on the answers in terms of what was taken out on the AMA with Crypto Beard. So
You know what was cool, Andy?
Yep.
The first 10 minutes of that stream with Crypto Beard, you guys were just laughing and chuckling, and I didn't know what the hell you guys were doing with whatever it is you were smoking. I wanted to have it because you guys were just not sure exactly what was happening there, but
Yeah, we kind of just continued. We just kind of continued the conversation because as that what we started, and that guy, Crypto Beard, he's hilarious. He's so funny, and he just randomly said, "Okay, I'm going live," and like just like that, and we just continued the conversation basically, and we just kept on laughing.
it's just like for a full 10 minutes. I was like, what the hell are these guys saying? Maybe they're chatting to each other. I don't know what. But that was cool. Anyway, so let's get this started. Ulti,
yeah,
how are we going to start this AMA?
we have some viewers now, and I have prepared some questions for this one. So Guys, if you have questions for Andy later on, we'll get back to you. We'll be selecting some of your questions that we'll be asking Andy as well. So first, um, these are common questions that came from the community. So we've had this. We collated all the questions, and for our first question for Andy, Andy, what will happen to the players with the 1 to 4 samurai? Will the game still lend them cards during this update?
The short answer is yes. Basically, yeah.
So
So those people can still keep playing as they did now. So,
yeah, so basically, whatever it is that the game have been doing, so it will remain the same. Is that it?
yes, yes. So you still get regardless of how many samurai you have. Is it 1, 2, 3, or 4? You're still gonna get those replacement cards, and you will still be able to play
A follow
just
up.
the same way as you did. Yeah.
Yeah, follow up. Andy,
Yep.
for that one. I mean, during the Imperial duels, so people with only one samurai and using these lone samurai, I guess, they can still rise up in ranks.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Okay,
So the
wow.
ranking system is ranking system. So the main difference, I would say, between the tier ranking system that we had before, the matchmaking tier system,
Mhm.
and the new ranking system is that everyone starts at
Would-
the same point. So
Yeah.
everyone starts at 0, and regardless of what you have, you can just progress. I mean, if you're capable of beating everyone with with theoretically that would be like 5 4s. Theoretically, it's very improbable, but it's possible.
Yeah,
With 5 4s, you can get like as far as you can. So
if you
Cool.
counter
there are no
every-
limitations.
Yeah, if you counter all the element that they'll be, I mean, if you could predict all the elements that they'll be deploying, and you got
Like Andy said, it's improbable, highly improbable, but possible. Yeah.
yeah, possible.
Yeah,
You got all the criticals.
yeah.
The next question would be: will there be any adjustments of the relaunch date due to the current market trend? I think we have the set date, but
You already had the March 16
kindly
date.
answer this question just to enlighten our players and investors as well.
Sure. So the date has been set that there are no more setbacks, no more changes.
Oh.
This is going to be the start and of this very long and interesting journey. And yeah, that's kind of what I would what I can say about that. And one note though,
Mhm.
the current situation in the market isn't as bright. And I'm not talking about the last 24 hours because that's kind of crazy what's happening right now. But the general idea currently in crypto is very, it's unsure where the market is heading. But the point is, we are quite confident that we can withhold a crypto winter. So we don't really fear what's going to happen in the market.
Yeah, yeah. So basically, you've talked about this one as well with CryptoBeer that for the projects that are going to last during the winters, they will be last longer, right?
Well, whoever survives the winter can survive anything. That's as bullish as it can get. And all things considered, what we're planning with having our main token, having BUSD liquidity, and the Coco, which is going to be the reward token, is going to be somewhat stable, or like a stable algorithmic stable coin, which is very very interesting, so to say. Not much I can say about it yet, but hopefully there's going to be more information about that. And these things considered, I'm very confident of all the things to come. And yeah, basically, I don't think there is any reason to be afraid of anything at this point.
Wow, wow. Oh, that's huge. That's huge. So, I think we've got an answer already for this one during the AMA. But just to be clear,
Mhm.
what happens if you only got one card? Will it overturn the Samurai Stamina rule?
You mean if you're left with only one card, like
you're
4 of
left.
your cards have been defeated?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
yes.
yeah. Yeah, that's the only exception. That's the only exception. So if like 4 cards, so you start with 5 cards and 4 cards you lose, and your opponent still has more than one card, or doesn't matter how many. Actually doesn't matter. Point is, you can keep playing that same card, till the game is over.
Nice.
So there's still a chance to, for
win it.
instance, if I'm playing a match,
Mhm.
and then I leave my 10 power samurai as the last card, so it has still chance to bully all of the 5 cards my opponent will be using. Correct?
Yes. That does make sense. Yes.
Okay. So you can still bully after all then.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you did either invest and got that card, or you got lucky. So either way, like with so you either way, you should have that advantage. But how far a one card is gonna get you is also questionable. So
Yeah.
Agree.
Agree. So, next question: will there be a leaderboard for each rank? Cause we have wood, stone, and then will there be like the top 5 or top 10 with the I mean, on a daily basis, if you're on the game, will there be like a leaderboard wherein the number 1 is Damian Wolf followed by Johnny Depp, or will there be like those?
no, I don't think so. Maybe in the future. Maybe in the future when the leaderboard is going to be more more detailed heavy, and when it's going to be more focused on, for example, one of the features that are being planned in the game itself, and which is something that's going to be available very soon, is like a betting system where you can bet. And we're trying to make this like as flexible as possible, where you can bet on certain matches, or you can bet on who's going to win the season, for example. So it's going to be important who's going to be first. But is it going to be like on each of divisions? I don't think so. It's going to be more focused on, either singular matches, or if we're going to design a tournament concept, or just, who's going to be first, who's going to win like the season, for example. And
Okay, so to be clear, there is no leaderboard. There's no top 1 to 10, but then everybody is, of course, aiming to get to the gold rank, right? I mean, that's the
yes,
end goal.
yeah. I mean, you have your subdivisions. That's already kind of a leaderboard. Like, it's not very specific, not very detailed, like player wise. But you have like, which players are in which pool, and of course that also depending on that is how much you're going to be earning as well. So
Right.
in which
Sorry, there's gonna be an indicator on what subdivision I'm in, and will there also be an
So
indicator?
it will be more interesting then.
Yeah, will there also be an
So
indicator what subdivision my opponent is in?
well, the system is going to try to give you an opponent. So this is this is a bit. I wouldn't say a problem. This kind of depends on how many players are currently playing, because that's also dependent.
Yeah.
That always depends on that. So the system is going to try to put you match you up with another player in the same division and even subdivision. So that's the whole point. Otherwise we get the same problem as we had like in the beginning,
Last time,
when
right.
when you had like those 5v10s that would face
Fight
like
the
people
whale.
that just started with one NFT, and it didn't make any sense. So point is to match people in the same division, similarly to how the tier ranking system worked.
Nice.
In that sense, in that regard.
Yeah.
Eh,
My follow-up question is that if ever there will be no opponent in the 20-second time frame for looking for an opponent, will there still be
Good
bots?
question.
Yes. Yeah, there will be. I'm not sure if we are going to change the time required for that.
Yeah.
That hasn't been decided yet, but bots will still be in play.
So will winning
And
over the bots rank us up as well?
Yes, but the
There we go.
bots will be adjusted, so they won't be like the same bot like you face.
Ooh,
Oh,
They will be adjusted to rank.
the rank. So basically, the gold ones will be more powerful compared to the ones in silver and in bronze, right? So that will be the
Yeah,
adjustment. Yeah,
yeah,
got
You'll
it.
be
yeah.
seeing
I
bots
do
with
have a question.
tens.
I do have a.
Go
Sorry.
ahead.
You'll be seeing
Yeah,
bots with tens.
Yeah, go ahead,
All
Andy.
right.
yeah. I have a question for you guys.
oh,
This is a funny one. Have
shoot.
any of you lost to the bot like ever? And
Yes,
be honest. And be
yes,
honest.
I
yes.
haven't.
I
I
have.
really
I
haven't.
have really. But I could still count it in one hand. Um, he was able to tell you the funny story about this one is that he was able to counter all the elements that I have, even if I have the power 10. I mean, wow. I'm winning against this real opponent, and then the bot was just countered all my elements, even if I have the tens. How come? I said to myself, and I haven't made a video of that one because I was playing, and then I got shocked when I got my first loss on that one. I think I got beaten twice or thrice already with a bot during my time in tier 2. So yeah, I mean twice or thrice I've been beaten by a bot. How about you
How
guys?
about you, Jen?
About me, I
Mhm.
think I was beaten by a bot when I first started in Samurai Rising. Back when I had or two samurai. But now I don't really lose to a bot.
Ooh,
Ooh.
Yeah. Because
ooh.
I battle in tier one only, so that's not really that's not really a big deal.
So, Andy, is there some reason why you asked that? I mean, are we gonna be looking at some Terminator here or Skynet?
No, no.
Gonna demolish our butts or whatever?
No, I mean I lost to a bot once as well, so it's okay.
How
I
about
was
you,
just
Wolf?
wondering. I was just wondering because it's kind of funny. It's kind of funny because the bot plays in a I mean, the bot so far was very simple-minded, to put it like that. And it was like it always had like I think it's like two choices, either like one or two options, and it would always play the same way, regardless of the match. But still losing to it is kind of funny. But if you're playing a lot of matches, for example, you kind of get burnout. It's possible, and then you forget how how the bot plays, and you can still like level yourself and play exactly into the bot.
Right. Hey, Andy, I'm sorry. Before Ulti asks the next question,
Mhm.
there was this supposedly the second sacred treasure, which everybody is gonna get
Oh
if they're part
yeah.
of the duels. Is it good? I mean, there was a confusing statement there. I think there was your. It's like giving the idea there are different NFTs if depending on what rank you finish in. Is that correct, or did I
Okay, so
say
the
that wrong?
statement is for the first one, for the first season, the reward is going to be the second part of the jewelry collection. But for the
Okay.
future seasonal ones, the NFT rewards are going to be dependent on your rank.
On your
So the
rank.
higher
Okay.
rank, the better the reward.
And this reward will be given at the end of the season, right? After the
Yes,
70
yes,
day.
yeah.
So what? Okay. Is the season so long? Just wanted to ask about that. I was wondering. 70 days is
Um,
like 2.5 months, and
yes, it's a long season, and it's an interesting question. And to be honest, I don't have an answer to that. I don't have an answer to that.
right. I mean,
So I think this is like the first concept,
hmm
and potentially regarding or the feedback, it could be longer or shorter. That's how I feel about it because we tend to change these things depending on how the community and the players how they feel like. I mean, not how they feel like, but how they feel the game should be developed or going towards something in that direction.
agreed. Okay.
So
All right. So I've
All right.
hijacked the questions already. Why don't you guys
I
go
do
ahead
I
with
do have one more question, Andy, before we
awesome.
move on to the next question. let's go back to the rewards. Like, you said that the reward will be the second piece of jewelry, right?
Yes.
How do you is there a specific amount of NFTs for each account needs that a person needs or a holder needs for them to get this jewelry or second piece of jewelry? So there can't be a what we call this there can't be a can't say the word, but and to have one NFT per account just to get that jewelry, like the greedy ones. How do you manage that? Is there a
Okay. So
yes,
you mean like if someone is multi-accounting and just participating to get the NFT?
yes, just to get the NFT
Yeah.
right?
That's an interesting question. That's an
Oh.
interesting question.
Is
Oh, the
is
thing is,
someone yeah,
the thing is, there's gonna be. Yeah, that's an interesting question, to be honest.
Yeah,
yeah,
Um,
I
I
just
mean,
thought of that.
not
let's.
quite sure. Not quite sure regarding that. So the first one is very limited. The first one is very limited. There's still going to be, I believe, a few. I think there's still a few that can be given away. So there could still be possibly some giveaways for the next few. I think the total number is supposed to be 500,
Yeah.
but we haven't reached that number yet. But this one is like more of anyone can have it. So regarding that, yeah, thinking long term, there could still be possibly people in the future that might want them. So I'm not sure. If anyone is going to be getting it. There might be some implications that we should implement so
Yeah,
that there is no benefit of multi-accounting in
having
that
multi,
regard.
right?
For example, I'm gonna see with the team about this one. There could be. I mean, we could make it. We could just make it like there is a requirement of a base rank, so that you wouldn't be able to just pump like I don't know how many accounts and just get an infinite number of these NFTs. So let's say you have to be in the stone division, for example, and I would say someone having a one NFT is going to have a very, very hard time to get to the stone division.
Thank you
For
for
example, yeah, I think I would say this is an easy fix. So
Okay.
that. All right.
That's a good question, because I mean a lot of players would want to have that, and then probably they'll be sending or selling those NFTs on the market immediately after
That's
they
true.
got that one. So uh just a follow-up question as well. Is there a could you spill some beans if ever what is the advantage of having those three amulets? Is there a plan
hmm.
or anything that you could leak, or I
That's
mean,
what I want to know.
a lot of players are still wondering what are this for, and then what could it hold in the
Well,
future and all. So I mean, could you spill some
And let's
beans?
forget the public statement, Andy. This is coming from you. Let's
well,
forget the.
let's put it like this. So the first 500 are, in my opinion, from the groups that I'm following, the first part is like the saltiest NFT of 2022. Definitely.
Agreed.
21, sorry, 21. And 21 to 22,
Mhm.
definitely. Because I haven't seen so much salt for something so, in a sense, insignificant. Because the initial idea is that they're just going to be like collectible.
Supposedly, yeah.
Yes, supposedly a collectible, but you never know. You never know. So, you know, it's a good thing to have, definitely.
Okay.
Even
Wow.
even if you can like show off in like a salt manner to others, especially for example later on where we're gonna have like full on clash of clans, guilds, and
Mm.
player on player, and there's gonna be shenanigans, and there's gonna be things that are gonna be said that I cannot say live. And I'm quite sure that these NFTs are going to be brought in, like to just put even more salt in the picture.
Wow. Wow. That's huge. I like that. I like that. So, what else? Let's check on the questions.
Yeah, let's go
Um,
back to the questions.
the next one would be, what are the other needed requirements for the new recruit system that was discussed on the podcast? Or could you spill some beans with regards to that one for the update?
Mm, okay, sure. So we already had mentioned that in the future there's going to be more NFTs. So there's going to be more different type of workers that each is going to be doing a specific task, and some of those tasks are going to be creation of creating, yeah, let's call it creating or harvesting or collecting resources or crafting resources. And all these things are going to be part of dynamic of the game, and one of them is going to be the recruitment system, which in that sense means that you're going to require more different kinds of resources.
Right.
So, right now it's very, very simple minded, and there is no story to it. There is like no story to it. You just, you send three samurai, you have no idea where they're going, no idea what they're doing, and then they bring a baby which is inside a crate, and it's a grown-up samurai, right? So in the future it's going to be more like I've already mentioned this, but like a training system. Let's call it training system, but we can just call it training. So a type of an NFT is going to go on a training program, is going to be going participating in a system which is going to be like more story heavy. So he's going to be doing a job and learning how to become a samurai, or learning how to be, something else, like some type of a worker. And there are going to be, different type of roles that are going to be given. And each one of those roles requires, for example, them to wear something, and those stuff that they wear have to be, created. So those type of resources are also going to be a requirement. So a samurai requires a weapon, samurai requires armor. Those things have to, those are also going to be part of the game.
Oh.
I believe I haven't spilled too much, because
Yeah.
Raul did
Yeah.
mention this. Raul did mention this in the podcast.
He did, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
So
Actually,
this is like the interesting part, and the dynamic of the game which we're building is the story. So there's going to be a story to everything. There's going to be like a sense of progression to anything you're doing. So you're like collecting, let's call it collecting people that are going to be NFTs in the future. And you're going to turn those NFTs by training them to soldiers of different kinds or workers of different kinds. And then each one of those is going to have a different role and different task. And all of that is going to be implemented, to get to this bigger picture of the strategy-based game, which is going to be later on. And also the big warfare picture of like the big dynamic warfare battles, including, potentially thousands or maybe even, 10,000s of players. God knows. I mean, the point is, I would say there is no limit to this. So the idea is to build a very massive game, which can hold a huge amounts of players. And I think this is also one of the questions maybe later on, but yeah, let me just front run this a bit since I'm talking about it.
Yeah.
The player pool can be like near, I mean, I would say near infinite, because we can just build on it's just a short fix, because we've seen, for example, Axie Infinity, how they've been dealing with these things when the player
There
pool
was
just
a time,
increases.
right, when the
Yes, so they had problems. So
They had
that is
issues.
something that we are aware of, and that we can definitely prepare and make it like a dynamic thing, that the world itself is based on the player pool. So it doesn't. The idea is not to release it like the entire world, but depending on the player pool. Because if it's the entire world immediately released, then it doesn't really make sense in the collecting of resources and yields and stuff, because it would be like too much. It wouldn't be sustainable. So it should be based constantly on the player base, so that can be involved and developed further, yeah, depending on how many players we have. And I think when you look at it from that point, and that's kind of one of the main things that we're doing, is always thinking about the sustainability, like from the beginning, from the start. Always that is like the main narrative. Because we don't want what happens to every single play to earn project or game right now in the space, because it may very, very fast, and some like extremely fast, become unsustainable. That's and personally for me as well, that's, I think, the most important thing. And so far no one has cracked it. No one has cracked it. I wouldn't say that there is like a simple solution to this, but I believe we're on a good track to make a very sustainable economy that's going to last for many, many years.
Cool.
Cool. Actually, with regards to the training or recruit system that we have,
Mhm.
I don't know if you're familiar, guys, with Mulan. Mulan is a substitute for the recruit of the soldiers during the time, because supposed to be they'll be recruiting all the males. And then she cut her hair as to substitute her father. That's why she went to war, right? So it's like I mean, the three soldiers recruiting, or the three samurai, three generals going on to the land fields, or to the area where people are living, and then they're just getting these private people, and then let them join into the army. They put it in a crate, and when you open it, you don't know what kind of samurai they'll be once you open for that crate. It's like the story of Mulan. That's what
Oti.
I'm thinking if ever I'm recruiting. Just to
Okay,
share.
you
Oh,
dare state Disney facts to me? To me?
He just
The
did.
Disney dad? You
Did.
actually
Yeah, I
had
know,
to
right?
state a Disney fact to me?
so wait,
Seriously now?
are you saying that every new samurai is Mulan? Is that what you're saying?
Well,
It could
no,
be. It could be.
I got its point. I got its point. Yeah. Anyway, there is one thing. Oh, sorry, but well, it's not gonna be derailed, but it's kind of related to the training of these new NFTs that you said that's
Hmm.
gonna have different tasks, right? I'm
Hmm.
not sure if it was Raul or if it was you who mentioned that there will be disposable. Well, that's not such a negative term, but I don't know, a burning mechanism for those NFTs.
Oh
Not
yeah,
the
it
current
was
ones we
Raul.
have.
It was Raul.
Yeah, it was Raul. He mentioned something that
Okay.
they die.
Yes. Yeah. You will have permanent and non-permanent NFTs.
Eee.
And the point is, this is also some of the parts of the dynamic of for the sustainability.
Mhm.
They will be a key part of the big picture. So you will need both you will need both permanent and non-permanent NFTs, because some of the non-permanent are required to do certain tasks, while at the same time some permanent are also required to do some tasks. So
Mhm.
you will need both.
Right.
And this is the interesting part. So this is also like from the strategic point of view, how you use them, which one you use them, how you're going to invest, how, and also this is I can go like super in depth with this, because this is going to be how people are going to delegate within clans, how they're going to delegate, because that's kind of the idea how MMOs work. You delegate people to do certain tasks,
Mhm.
and so some people are just gonna, for example, hoard a one type of NFT, for example, and gonna collect the one type of resource, or like a couple of type of resource, and then another one is going to be heavily supporting armies, and then another one is going to be doing logistics, and then the fourth one is going to be focusing on controlling war bands. So it's going to be very important how you're going to be delegating these things. And the funny thing is, okay, not the funny thing, is the exciting thing, yeah, that would be the better word.
Okay.
Is this is where the current scholarship program is going to be
There we
integrated within the
go.
game, so you're going to be able to delegate this to like a massive amount of players, massive amount of scholars, that each one is going to have their own tasks. And some of the tasks, of course, are going to be still, doing combat, doing these duels, but it's also going to be doing, controlling the war bands. It's also going to be controlling lands, bigger, smaller lands, and, etc. So it's going to be a very like political, in a political sense and a social sense, how you're going to be managing these things as a manager, but also as a manager manages like smaller managers and scholars, and then smaller manager is also going to be managing like smaller scholars and smaller managers. So it's going to be it's going to be a system that's going to be spreading its roots like very, very wide, and everything is going to be interconnected. And I'm trying to figure out how people are socially going to be managing these things, because this is like a very, very on a very in-depth level. And to be honest, this is very new to me. I have played some MMO games, but on this heavy, like in this in-depth, I've never seen anything like this.
It seems really massive, and it actually sort of calls to some of the other NFTs that have NFT games that have been coming up, where you can actually own a piece of land, and then you can sort of work, for example, as a barkeep. Those are for the other NFTs, and I'm seeing a similar concept here, where you can actually like maybe be a small scale provincial warlord,
Yes.
employing like a commander, and the commander has his own squad. His own squad actually has some bandits who are attacking certain places. I'm not sure if my imagination is running away with me, but I'm seeing all of this while you guys were discussing. So
No,
it is
definitely.
it makes me
Definitely.
excited.
Everything is possible. I mean, you could be. So I'm seeing this as like big factions are going to be created. There's going to be small factions, and then there's going to be people making alliances, and there's going to be, within the factions, there's going to be feud between, whales. Or let's still call them whales, but I would call them like, big dudes, big bosses.
Mhm.
And there's going to be like, so you could relate this to anything, like in a World War concept. It's going to be, some people are going to be doing, heavily on resources, heavily, trading. Some people are going to be heavily in warfare. Some people are just going to be focusing on, the tournaments, the duels. Some are just going to be focusing on that aspect of the game. So there is a piece for everyone here, from like different perspectives, different type of games, different visions. Like there is a place in this universe. There's a place for everyone. A taste for everything. Like the different dynamics, different ways you can play the duels, which is also going to be later on when the game becomes even more strategic. There's going to be more ways you're going to participate, and I personally believe we're going to have like tournaments that can be also heavily on the betting system, where you can participate in the tournament without even playing, because you're betting on a player to win.
Right.
And so you could have high yields just from that,
Wow.
for example.
So it means that, for example, if Wolf is gunning for the top one, or even to the tournament, I could bet for Wolf on winning that tournament, and then whatever it is that I bet, I'll be getting some rewards with betting on one player to be winning that battle, right?
Well, yeah, definitely. I mean, depends on the system. Betting is kind of betting can be like winner takes all, which kind of makes sense for this example. So let's say there is like I don't know, 1,000 people. Just an example. 1,000 people bet on who's going to win,
Yeah.
and then all those who bet on the winner and that guy who wins, they just share the pool.
Yeah.
And all the others who miss, they lose.
They lose.
So that's basic betting. That's how it works. That's kind of that's how like all those cage fights work, kind of. I would say.
Yeah. For sure, for sure. Well, at least we could still earn by betting on the one that we think would win, right?
Yeah, I mean, if you can imagine, I mean, this is just a small The tournament idea is just, and betting idea is just a small concept of potentially how you can partake in the ecosystem and earn. But there is, you can just be focusing on trading. Like in all the NFT projects, you can just be, selling and reselling NFTs. You could be creating and selling NFTs. You could be focusing just on resources. You could be focusing on, and this is something that has been mentioned, I think I'm not front running anyone, that there's going to be, there are going to be also a combat concept where you're going to be like attacking a province, where there's going to be like logistical movement and defending the province. So the defender gets rewards while the attacker gets, spoils. So the dynamic is going to be, is going to be vast. There's going to be like many ways you can partake and participate here. And of course, the more NFTs you have, the more stuff you'll be able to do.
Yo.
So, yeah.
That's huge. That's huge. Now, could you share what are the other needed requirements for the new recruit system that was discussed?
Oh yeah, so we're back to that question. But yeah, I've already said, I think what I can. I don't want to say anything more, like too much. So you'll see. There's gonna be soon more more info about these things. So you'll see.
So stay tuned.
Follow-up question.
Maybe
ahead.
yeah. Let me just say. Then Ace can ask a question. Maybe like sooner than later, actually.
I mean,
Like tomorrow later.
like when we say soon, I was shocked when the podcast happened and I mean the AMA happened to CryptoBeard, and then Yannick said that the recruitment will change soon, very very soon, and then it will be tomorrow. Go ahead, Ace.
Okay, my follow-up question regarding about the recruitment. Is it safe to say that the one of the additional requirements would be the resources coming from the NFT lands?
Sure. Sure. In a way.
Answer.
So it's a yes.
Either way.
In a way.
Alright.
So
In a way.
in a way, it means that it's not the only requirement.
Or that's needed for
So
the NFT to change into a peasant NFT, which is the one who's gonna provide the
Don't worry, Andy. We get it. Wink, wink. We know how to read between the lines.
Do you have follow up questions, guys? Or
I do have
go
a
ahead,
question
Yannick.
I read from the comments on YouTube. This is from Cornelius.
Okay.
Will there be a chance to gain more than one samurai in the recruitment process?
Short answer, no.
No.
No. All right, Cornelius, the answer is no. So we only get one for every recruitment process. That was answered. Thank you so much, Andy.
Okay,
Yeah.
guys, I
No,
gotta
no.
drop off. I might be back in a bit, but I'll be on mute. Thank you, guys. I'll be back.
Go Wolf.
All right.
So
Okay.
Andy, for our next question, will the land resources be transferable?
What do you mean by that? When you sell a land to someone, is it going to keep the resources,
No,
or you mean
I-
will you be able to trade the
I
resources?
think they're saying that like the NFTs, you could send them as gift into other players' wallet. So will there be like for the thing that you have like wood, stone? Will there be a process for you to transfer those into another wallet, or will it need to run through the marketplace?
Well, you can do that already now, so
I mean,
I guess yes. Maybe if it's going to be changed in the future, like for that specifically, um, interesting question.
yeah.
I'm not sure, but right now you can just gift someone and all the resources that are connected to that land and the buildings, everything stays. So it's they're fixed to whatever you've done with that specific land. It's fixed to the NFT. So whatever it's there, just keeps on staying there.
Yeah, I think the more specific question is just the resources, not the land, because basically, if I have a land that has currently opened right now, and then there will be needed for the construction for this building, and I needed the resources, just the resources,
Mm-hmm.
can they be transferred to another land? I think that's the question.
Okay, okay. Well, I mean, they definitely will be. They
Yeah.
definitely will be. That's the point. That's the whole point of, for example, logistics, where you're going to be required to move your resources around. So,
Okay.
for example, on one of your lands, you're collecting, one resource, and then someone else is collecting on their land another resource, and you need, for example, to, for whatever other upgrade or building or crafting or whatever. You're gonna need both resources, so you will require the trading of these resources to get, to have both of them to be able to do that.
Yeah. Follow up question with regards to that one. Will there be a set price for the resources, or will the players be able to what do you call this, dictate for the prices of this resources?
Okay. So I don't think I can go too much into specifics, but there are going to be different ways that you're going to be able to trade. There's going to be a fixed a fixed way of trading, and there's also going to be, player PvP, player to player, peer to peer trading. So you can set whatever price you want.
Yeah.
If whatever the person is ready to pay.
Yeah, yeah. So they'll be bargaining. Got it, got it.
Hmm.
Johnny, you have questions?
I'm reading questions from the comments on YouTube.
Okay, so we'll proceed with.
I have
Go ahead.
a question here with regards to the recruitment from 30. Do you have any idea how long will the recruitment time be on the new one?
No specifics as of yet.
All right. All right.
So,
And
for the next question, before Johnny ask again from the YouTube, how many daily active players for Samurai Legends do we have right now? If we have the figures or something in estimate.
I believe, like, from the weekly perspective, I think there's like a couple of thousand players. Not everyone is an everyday player. Some play, once or twice a week.
Wow.
Like, so I think it's like 2,000 players, I believe.
So within that number,
Yeah.
it's a shocking number that a player would be playing only twice a week. A lot of players that are in the
that's
chat
true. That's true.
are looking for scholarship. They should announce that they're just playing for those times, and a lot of players from the Philippines would love to play for the game.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
That's a waste if you only like played 1 or 2 days a week. That's such a waste of INF.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you still have players. Okay, I shouldn't call them players because they
They don't
haven't
play.
played a day. They haven't played a day, and they have NFTs. So you still have those people.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for the follow up question, are the servers ready for if ever there will be huge influx of players?
I believe so. I believe so that for the for the current influx of the players, the servers are just gonna is it will function. For future references, though, once things get on a much bigger scale, that is, I can say that is being worked on. So, but we're not there yet, so it's fine.
Yeah, yeah. Got it. So in terms of the upcoming update for the Imperial Duels, so after the end of the season, will all the players again restart at zero rating, or for example, there will be for those that are able to gain for the higher ranks, will there be a what they call a setback? Like for if you're in gold 5, then on the next season you'll start immediately at let's say bronze or something, or all players will start
Hmm.
at zero again.
Everyone starts at zero again.
Wow.
So reset,
Mm-hmm.
reset every time.
Reset every time. Okay. Okay,
Yeah.
got it. And then will there be a lending system for Samurai on the market?
That's what I want to know.
Lending system. What are you referring to this?
Like for the
About
cards,
renting.
renting. Like
Yeah,
for example,
maybe you can rent a samurai.
we could rent a power 10 that we're missing some element. Like for me, I'm looking for
Oh,
a power 10
Mm-hmm.
fire, and then I could rent this one on a day or a week, or probably into something since this player is not active, and then I could use it into battles.
interesting. Interesting. This is a very good idea. I don't think I don't think this is in the works, but it's a very good idea.
Yeah, because
So you would be
yeah, on
It's
the
interesting.
gonna be a very nice feature.
because on the other
It would be.
games,
It would
yeah,
be.
on the other games that we do, there is a lending system. And then whatever the cards that you were able to rent, you could use them in the battle as an advantage or as additional in terms of your deck, and then you could select them if ever they are really playable on that situation. So I think,
Well,
go ahead, Wolf.
uh, sorry, but I think the current system that we have and what they're gonna put up regarding the scholarships being part of the game. I've thought about this a lot, and the rental system. I know we're used to that with another game, right? But with the ease of the scholarships here, a much easier way of
Yeah,
actually delegating an account here, I think we don't need it.
Yeah.
I
That's
don't know.
actually a very good point. That's a very good point there. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Because we can, it's easy. It's easy for us to delegate an account and everything.
I
And we can do that internally. Like Johnny, do you want to rent my account, which has two power cards, right? You pay me a certain amount of whatever, and then I'll lend it to you for a month or a week or whatever.
But
sure, but I do think that it would be useful if we are looking at like a huge player base. So
Mm.
yeah,
if we have
actually,
more players,
Like
yeah,
I think
when
actually, it
renting is
also gives
useful.
yeah, it gives opportunity for new players to actually try and
Mm-hmm.
test the game. So, for instance, there would be another investor that would like potentially try to play the game, but thinking twice. So there would be another gateway for them. So instead of purchasing those NFT, they can just actually rent it. And actually, it's
Mm-hmm.
also a good burning mechanics because if there would be a renting system for the game, there would be a burning mechanics because, of course, when you set this amount of INF that you want this samurai to be rented upon on, there will be some reduction to it. There will be some percentage that will be reducted, which will add
Mm-hmm.
another burning mechanics for the game.
Mm.
Hmm.
yeah,
Good
Interesting.
point.
Yeah.
It's a
Good
point.
point. Good point. It's yeah, but it's not. Yeah, I'm gonna say that it's not something that is being worked on at the moment, but it is something to think about. Definitely, definitely something to think about.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Wolf, you have something in mind?
No, no. I actually hijacked the question again. Sorry. Go ahead. You guys can continue with the list.
Okay, so for our last question that is listed in here, what are the burning mechanisms for the token so that potential investors will have an idea?
Wow. Okay, so um, the so is this regarding? Would this be regarding like the whole picture, like the
I
future picture, like from everything that is coming, or like for the currently in like
um
this perspective, what to expect in the near future, or like
I, I
everything.
I would say in the near future, because basically we have the updates coming soon, and even the Imperial
Mhm.
Duel. So I would say that would be better if you answer for that one.
Sure, 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 sure. So the burning mechanism for the reward token, and for yeah, let's start with the reward token. So one of the things that are going to be coming out with launch is going to be a taste of a taste of the building mechanics of the new, let's say, new building system and how the lands are going to be working.
Mm.
So that's going to be with the entrance to this universe, to this, let's call it metaverse, sure,
Yeah.
where all players are going to meet in this like one place, one city, the capital
A
of
neutral city.
feudal Japan, where everyone is going to meet. And they're going to be also, which is something so people are going to be meeting, and then there's going to be the concept of each player having their own base camp, which is the feel for the lands themselves. So the mechanics that are going to be in place is that each player is going to be able to build stuff on their base camps, so, which are going to be also stuff that you can show off to others. Like you can make them nicer, you can make them better, and you can also build. You can build different buildings that are going to be that are going to have some utility. For example, or different NFTs, something that you're going to be required for later on for moving, for logistics. They're going to be required for recruiting. They're going to be required for crafting and holding different NFTs and stuff like that. These things are going to be introduced, and Koku, the reward token, is going to be used for those, and also for the new recruitment system.
So if a player doesn't have a land, Andy, all of that.
Yes. Well, the thing is, each player, so every single player will have their own base camp, which is going to be connected with their player avatar. So the thing that you are in the game, the thing that you are.
Right. I understand.
Yeah. So, and that's going to be a place where you're going to show off, for example, if you're going to have trophies, if you're going to have some accomplishments, if you're going to have like certain milestones that you achieved, all those things are going to be there. And then there are going to be, decorative elements, basic stuff, and also first taste for how the building system is going to work. That is regarding.
Yeah, sorry, but it's not connected to the current lands that we have. It's not connected there. It's like a neutral base population. Everybody has, whether you have the land.
Yes, everyone is going to get a taste for the land mechanics this way. So every single player will have the access to this, and later on, the camp itself is going to be something that's going to be moving together with your player unit that moves on the map, for example. So that's the interesting thing, where you're gonna have how to visualize it is the thing. So you're gonna have this tent where where your boss, your nobleman, the U is going to be situated inside, and it's going to be in tent, and there's going to be different other tents that are going to have each certain utility, holding items and stuff like NFTs and as the achievements that I've already mentioned and things like that. But on the other hand, the SMG token is going to have introduction to new NFTs, is also going to be connected with the lands themselves. So I haven't seen any question regarding for the, but it is in the article that for this short transition phase, the INF is going to be used for the lands. So you can purchase lands themselves now, starting when the recruitment system stops. That's when you're going to be able to use INF to buy lands that are currently purchasable in the app.
Yeah.
And when SMG launches,
are you allowed to give us a? I mean, I know it's in a few. It's in a day or a few hours, but are you going to give us like an info on how much? Like how much INF per land?
Nope.
Man, I'm so impatient. Okay.
Yeah. So, the SMG token burn mechanic is going to be a various different NFTs, including new special edition NFTs, like, the NFTs that are coming out soon. There's going to be, land NFTs. There's going to be, and this is very exciting and very important, there's going to be staking. This is not a burn mechanic, but very, very important utility for the SMG token. Yep. And it will be starting. I'm not 100% sure if it's going to start right away when the tokens launch, or like a day or two or a few later. Most likely it's going to be like almost immediately. So there's going to be, there are going to be burning mechanics. Oh my god, mechanics and utilities for both tokens.
Yeah, just a follow up questions with regards to this one. Since there will no special crate for buying a land using INF, will it be going back into having those special crates whenever it will be back on selling for the BNB or something? Once we get back to the relaunch for the game, or there will no longer be any more special crates even if you buy lands after um, all of this.
So the crates is specific for the special crates,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, just for the special crates.
Okay, so
that are incorporated into the land.
So the special crates, I believe, are not going to. They might be. This hasn't been decided how the new NFTs are going to be purchasable, but this idea of. So the question is, I believe, related to lands themselves.
Yeah.
They are not going to be part of lands, I believe, anymore.
Oh, so the best time for us to buy lands is now and then open it immediately. Cause, and what if I bought the land and then I wasn't able to open it earlier, and then here comes the player, the holding, and then players could buy now for the INF, using INF for the lands, and then it is the only time that I open for my land. Will I still get for the special crate or not anymore?
Interesting question. I'm not 100% sure on this one.
Yeah.
I'm not 100% sure. It could be either way. I'm not
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure from the development perspective how that mechanic would work. Yeah. It could be either way. It could be related to it could be related to like when you purchased it, or it could be related to like if the mechanic is going to be like canceled or removed completely, then if you haven't opened it, then it's quite possible that you will not be receiving the NFTs.
Oh, I see. I see.
But I cannot say this. Yeah, I cannot say this with 100%
Yeah, yeah.
certainty. So
At least we have some clarity in terms of that one. So we would say that the best time for us, the players would to
But
buy now and then open right away, because at least you still have the chance, if you have the heal, to have a special crate, and then of course you have a 100% chance of having one for a mountain and then three for the coast.
yes, definitely,
Yeah.
definitely. I mean, I would always suggest to open the crates right away.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. And then, will there be any instances again wherein there will be like a sale for the lands? I think it was the Black Friday sale last time that the prices were low.
Oh, a sale
Yeah, the
for
sale.
lands.
Yeah.
There might be, but I cannot give you a oh my god,
Definite.
defined answer
Yeah.
to that. So definite.
So stay tuned. Guys, there are lots of things that the game is giving a discount that even for free. Because if you play for the Banana Katana before, there's a huge discount on the lands. A lot
Yeah,
of play.
we. Yeah, sorry. I was gonna say we're doing a lot of giveaways and have done a lot of giveaways in the past, and will continue to do more giveaways.
Yeah.
So I mean, we do have the trivia, which is like every week,
Yeah.
and there's gonna be more contests coming out soon. So you
Yeah.
can definitely look forward to that.
We have a
And
question.
by soon, I mean in the next few weeks.
It may be even sooner.
Yeah.
We have a question on YouTube. Will there be tower defense sort of gameplay?
Defense specifically. I don't think so.
Yeah. Will there be a sort of governing council or association of war chiefs to balance the power of a whale or big boss?
Can you say
This
the
is a good
question?
question. Yeah, I mean, I guess the context is the way things you're describing it and the way things are we're imagining it right now. There's gonna be different factions and whatever. but we
Hmm.
know that there's gonna be big dudes, right? And then there's gonna be, let's say, maybe two or three big dude guilds. And what if, they just rule everything? I mean, is there any, for example, will there be game masters, or I mean, is there any other governing body from the internal core devs that would sort of limit the power or whatever those big dudes have? I mean,
Oh,
Okay,
that's
kind
yeah,
of
interesting.
that's an interesting question, definitely. Well, regarding that, okay, first of all, there is, like, we can say, a possible potential uh, s- safe button.
hmm
I wouldn't say, yeah, I wouldn't call it safe button, but
hmm
if the game becomes, if the big game becomes, it goes in the one direction that there is
right.
like no interaction anymore, and like,
Everybody's
then there is, there is a way that we can interfere, but to be honest, I don't believe that is something that's going to happen. Even if you're going to have, you definitely will have big factions, so that is expected. But the factions themselves are gonna consist of many whales, most likely. And in order for this, in the social sense, for this to work, they would have to be in constant harmony, which we believe that's not going to be the case. I think there's going to be internal struggles constantly for leadership and for control. So even if at one point there's going to be like a massive control, which is expected. I mean, to become a shogun, you kind of have to control within your clan and your allies. You have to control a vast amount of lands to be able to become shogun. So that's one of the requirements for that. But is it going to continue? Is it going to stay? And for how long it's going to stay? That's very questionable. I believe, and the team also believes that regarding like comparing it to other games before, the internal struggle and the struggle generally between the clans themselves is going to be on such a massive scale that it's going to be very, very hard to sustain, like control. So there's going to be, and I truly believe that from the vision that Raul has, who, by the way, he's like a huge expert on MMOs.
hmm
I think he said 15 years of Eve, which is his like it's his base concept, like for his vision for our game. And he said that there the internal struggles were like massive and would continue on forever, and it would be very, very hard to sustain them in that regard. So I believe, yeah, we believe that it won't be necessary to
So,
interfere in the game.
okay, you're saying that the clans themselves might be too busy fighting amongst internally that they might not be
Yes.
able to,
Mm-hmm.
to have focus on actually dominating everybody. That's what you're saying.
Well, yeah, okay, not specifically constantly, but it will be one of the things that people are going to constantly have to keep in mind. Like, am I going to be backstabbed? Is like one of my allies going to get, or like, someone that is like a smaller whale that is under my control, is he perhaps going to get a better deal from someone else? Is he
hmm
going to become greedy? This is something that, yeah, that's going to be part of this social dynamic that is going to be constantly part of the game. So,
So I can
yeah,
collab with Ultimate X today and then invade him tomorrow,
yeah,
Yeah.
kinda, kinda.
and then I can
Connive alliance.
sell NFTs to Johnny and then get them later, steal them later or something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
Something
definitely,
like that.
definitely, definitely. I
Wow.
mean, you
It's
could be
gonna
You're
be like
looking
scheming,
at
you could
the
be
ending our
ultimate
scheming.
friendship.
ultimate
Yeah.
So it's like Samurai Legend meets Game of Thrones.
Yes,
yeah.
yes,
Yeah,
that's a very
exactly.
good, very good
Wow.
reference.
Wow.
Okay.
Exactly.
So we need to watch our backs, guys. That's
Like
all.
you're saying, I
That's
know
all.
nothing.
I am Khaleesi.
What?
I'm gonna be Bron the Sellsword.
What? Okay, well,
That is
do we
very
still have questions, Ulti?
nice.
Yeah.
There's some more on
How
the
could we
chat.
defend our lands in the future if we are offline? Maana Gaming.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's actually a good question.
Okay, so there are two things to note here. The game is going to have like outer provinces and inner provinces. The outer provinces are the ones that we're buying, the NFTs that you can buy,
Outer,
and
okay.
these lands cannot be taken away, so they can only be
Mm.
given or sold.
Mm-hmm.
While the inner provinces are the part where the battling and
That's
the
where the
warfare
battles
is
are
going to
gonna
be
happen.
happening.
I
And
get it.
yes, okay. But the question is very based. It's a very interesting question. That is going to be also part of how you're going to be delegating and how you're going to be managing stuff. So you're going to be needing, people that are going to be taking care of your stuff. You're like your guards. You're going to need guards. You're going to need people that are going to, when you sleep, someone has to be taking care of your stuff.
Oh no.
So, yeah.
Wow. So you really
So there
can't
will be
Cornelius,
survive
shifting.
alone.
There
Cornelius,
will be shifting the
hello.
guards.
So,
Wow.
that's, interesting part.
Damn, I didn't think it would go that far where you have to have guards. Okay, but it's true,
I
right?
mean,
I mean, you conquer the territory. You have to have somebody.
I did sugarcoat it a little bit to make it more interesting,
Okay,
but
okay,
it's
right.
going to
That's
be
the
more
concept.
simplified, of course. It's not going to be like that extensive, but you to be able to for someone to attack you, there is going to be like a certain time required. You're going to be noticing him that he's attacking you, so he's not going to be able to show up like in 10 minutes someone is like at your back door and attacking your castle. So so
Okay,
it's not going to be that it will be
it's not like
in terms
Clash of
of like a
Clans.
bit slow. Yeah, definitely not that fast paced, and you're not going to be you're losing everything like in an hour, so you're safe.
Okay, Cornelius
but
has
you
a
will
question.
but you
Yeah,
will be you will be still required to be active or have
right.
someone who's going to be active for you.
Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, Cornelius did say a samurai security agency you can hire for, let's say, a week or a month using INF or Koku to help guard your lands. Okay. Uh,
Wow.
Interesting.
he has a question. Will there be special NFTs only available on Christmas? Ha- I guess this is Halloween and other special occasions.
Special NFTs.
Mhm.
There is going to be a special NFT sale. Wait, special NFTs is that?
Per season, like there's gonna be like a Santa
Santa
samurai or
Samurai or
whatever,
someone on the Halloween
or a vampire samurai,
Yeah.
even if it's just
I don't know
virtually.
if it's gonna be. I don't know if it's gonna be that specifically, but there could be potentially like
Maybe even just the
those
name, like
types.
your name is
It
Like
could just be
Damien
called.
Wolf.
or name. Oh yeah, is there a way we can name
Customize.
change the name of a samurai?
Oh
Will that be
yeah.
something in the future?
Definitely could. There
Ooh,
are there are a set of limitations though.
mhm.
Since people kind of get trolly
Of
and
course,
tend to use some things that shouldn't be used.
right.
So,
Yeah, right.
that's something that has to be considered. I'm not sure if you already currently can have those details that can be changed and the
Hmm.
nickname can be
Biography,
given, but the name itself of the samurai, I'm not 100% sure that it can be changed because you know that's yeah that's the fishy thing because yeah of obvious reasons. So
okay.
Makes
but
sense.
but maybe in the near future, or later future, could be possible. I can't say no. I mean, it's up to the devs.
All right. We do have a question here. I think this question is interesting. From
Mhm.
Perb. Do you think huge advantage current players have over new potential players won't scare them away from investing into the ecosystem?
Yeah, that's an interesting question. it depends. It kind of depends on how long it takes them to learn the game, and I don't think it's going to be too complicated. But to get this is specifically on a smaller scale. So, as I said earlier, there are different ways you can partake in the ecosystem, different ways you can play the game. So there is a different taste for everyone. If you want to taste everything, though, so if you want to partake in the grand scheme of things, well, that learning curve might be a bit bigger. But if so early investors will definitely have an advantage. But considering that this is like a social experiment kind of thing, where a lot of people have to interact and big clans and big alliances have to be made, I would say also the learning stuff can be delegated in that sense. So if, for example, our new guild wants to join and partake in the game, they can definitely, have different people learning for them, and them in, having a faster way of learning and participating in all this.
Right. So
But definitely, I mean, like in everything, whoever is early has an advantage,
Yeah.
okay.
In that sense. But I wouldn't necessarily say that it would scare away the investors if we're looking at it from the investor perspective, specifically. So investors don't necessarily have to be playing the game. They can always invest in the game, invest in the NFTs, invest in, staking as an investment, for example, or, invest also in later on, for example, like, okay, this is also game specific. If you would invest in the resources themselves and then have some kind of a short-term monopoly and dominate the market, like I own all the possible, let's say in this region, I own all the possible, I don't know, iron or wood, and people don't have enough wood, and then they're required to buy wood from you or have to travel, for example, much longer to get from a different location. So,
Yeah, that's
there are different mechanics, but I don't think, whoever is interested in the game per se is, wants to learn the game. So like any game, there is the learning curve. uh, is it going to be wide? Yes, but if you want to enjoy the whole picture, like partake in everything, then you have to learn, like with any game, um in any game in this space, or the gaming space itself.
Yeah, just a
okay.
follow-up question with regards to the lands. Will there be like a clan chat and a global chat in the lands? I mean, like for example, if and when Wolf will it say that Wolf is attacking Johnny Depp's land, or Johnny Depp
Oh,
just stole something
Oh
like
yeah.
this from
Will there
Wolf,
be a
and then
Could.
notification
during
tool?
the battle, could we watch those scene wherein this is a huge, I mean, huge faction versus faction, or clan versus clan that are fighting right now? So everyone is watching right now wherever they are in the in the globe and all. Could we watch those?
hmm. Well, everything that's going to be happening in on the world map is going to be in real time. The
Wow.
battles themselves are going to be different dynamic. They're going to be, a similar thing to what we have with Samurai Rising right now.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, but the movement and attacking and on the map are going to be visible in real time, so everyone can see those things because
Wow.
the map is going to be accessible. But your question was specifically if there's going to be like a notification. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. This is an interesting question. This is an
Yeah.
Yeah,
interesting question.
because
I
it
don't
can be
think.
useful, right? I mean, if for example Johnny Depp attacks Ulti, and you're in another place, right? And you'll get notified. You'll see that Johnny Depp is so that you're kind of up to date with the current
Yeah.
event, so to speak.
News.
Hmm.
World
Yeah,
news.
but yeah, definitely. It makes sense, but if you would consider the the massive map with
True.
all the lands there, then you would be like flooded with notifications
Well, maybe
like every
maybe a
hour.
log then. Maybe just a log feature. Like this happened in 24 hours. Like 3 hours
Interesting.
ago, Johnny Depp
Interesting.
invaded this. 2 hours ago, somebody ascended to Shogun. 1 hour
Hmm.
ago, they were assassinated, or those kinds of news that you can read up on and whatever. I mean, we
Interesting.
this is
Yeah.
something that we see in other games where we have similar gameplays. I'm
Hmm.
gonna give you an example. Andy, I'm not sure if you guys are aware of this PlayStation game. It's called Brigandine. I'm not sure if you've played this, but it's one of my favorite games in the past. And it actually has a reboot right now on the current PlayStation. But basically, you control a country, and then that country has certain castles which you can occupy or you can put troops in. But you
Hmm.
can also send your troops to conquer other castles which belong to other countries. They're in just one continent, and then one move would mean you can transfer your troop over to another castle which belongs to another company. Of course, you can move troops around in your own country, but then you can. Yeah, 30 sees it. 30 knows that game. See, Brigandine. This sounds like Brigandine. This sounds like Japanese Brigandine, right? I mean, we can send our troops over to another castle, try to conquer them, and I'm assuming this is the world map. Um, it's very exciting. You guys gotta see. You gotta look at the game, and then you'll see something. I think that's how it's gonna turn out. But
Oh,
basically, on that game too, you do have that notification. There is a certain time, like for example, after a battle, there is like a small sequence which says this is what happened during the time that you battled, right? Let's say Taiwan invaded China, and then China tried to steal a land away from whatever, but was repelled and whatever, and then done. That was done, and then you go on to the next day, right? So something like that. But I understand if it's since we can't get the full details of the game yet, so I'm not sure if we're trying to suggest something which it cannot be
mm.
done,
It's
right?
it's a
But
good it's definitely a good idea. I'm trying to picture what you're saying. I don't know the
Mhm,
game
mhm.
itself, but I'm thinking it would still be flooded with so much information. At
But
some point, it would be just so much flooded and would be really hard to keep track because I
I,
believe there's going to
mhm.
be so many interactions, so many conflicts potentially.
Okay.
Yeah,
That
but we can
it's going
limit
to
it
be hard to
to
track.
but we can limit it to major ones. Like if there's like a minimum of there was 5 lands conquered by this guild, right? I mean,
Hmm.
it doesn't have to be every single movement that's happening,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah, I get it. I get
major
it.
stuff, major
Definitely,
stuff.
definitely something that we can think about. Sure,
Cool.
sure.
All right.
It's not a bad idea. Yep.
Oh, there's a good question here. Will there be natural events or disasters in the game, like a random tsunami on a coastland or
Actually,
erupting volcano for mountain lands?
they even ask if there would be wild animals attacking your base.
Well, this would be connected, I would say, to definitely, yeah, definitely. This is connected to something which will be part of the game.
Okay. Hey, guys, I
So
gotta
there,
drop off. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry, great, sir. I gotta drop off
sure.
to eat dinner.
So
Thank you, guys.
yeah.
So yeah,
Andy, will there be a global and a clan chat in the lands?
there will be chat and like a lobby chat, and believe the idea is also to have um well the interaction between clans
Yeah.
and
Cause
players.
yeah,
Yeah.
cause I mean
So I would say yes, but it's still possibly, yeah, okay, I would say yes. I would say
yeah,
yes.
cause
Yeah.
I mean players could still interact with other players who are in other clans. Cause I mean if they want to look for other bigger clans or something, I mean they could always look in there, and then someone would always be on the chat on the global, and then guys, we're looking for players that are like this and like this, and then if you want, come and check us. I mean that would be the starter for their conversation, and then one would be leaving their clan and then joining this other clan.
Sure, sure. So I would expect there would be people like recruiting
Yeah.
for the clan. So definitely.
In the future, are we going to have other gender cards or samurai or pets that could fight alongside the samurai?
Well, there are the geishas.
Yeah, it has been revealed, guys. Stay tuned for more updates. Don't you think huge advantage current players have over new potential players won't scare them away? I think this was answered already.
Yep.
Um, will the Imperial Amulet be convertible to land?
No.
Nope. And then what else? Send some more questions, guys. What else do we have here? Would Samurai Legends will be adding a female samurai? I think we have the Geishas already, so the Geishas are female. So stay tuned for that. SMG, LFG, a samurai security agency. I think we ran through that.
We have a question from Cornelius.
Go ahead.
Will there be a convention or meeting of clans? Can we trade a member for another one from another guild?
Wow.
Wow, you're about to trade a member?
Yeah, but okay,
You can do
that's
that?
an interesting that's an interesting question.
Wow.
Convention. Well, I don't think there's gonna be something like that. It's gonna be up to you who you want to, have in your clan, who you want to
Yeah.
trust.
That would be
But
huge.
there's not gonna be any exhibits of like Exhibit A, very good clan member, like he's for sale, who wants to buy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd rather leave if I'm
It's
the one being auctioned or being traded. I will not be joining either of those two. And then, can
that's
we use
crazy.
current NFT that we have on the game? Uh, what's this? Can we
And
use
the
the
new
current NFT?
gameplay.
I I I don't think the question is. Could you rephrase the question? I don't think I get the question, Johnny Depp.
I think he or she is asking if we can use our current NFTs, the NFTs that we own now in the new games and the upcoming games. And if yes, what will be the advantage of the new NFTs compared to old?
Oh,
You mean the
okay.
new
So
class? Next
yeah, I
gen?
believe I believe it's for the new classes. Yeah, I mean there is going to be many advantages. Each NFT is going to have a different purpose, a different purpose, and is going to be doing different things, different purpose. So it will be part of the strategic part of the game because there are going to be different ways how you're going to be doing combats, and each unit is going to be used in a different way. But that's the most I can say right now.
All
Wow.
right.
Do we have other questions
Do
in
you have
here?
any more questions, guys?
I think there are lots of topics that were covered during this AMA, guys, and I think a lot of players are interested with the lands.
Yes, and then I really want to know how much the lands will be sold for
For the INF.
when it comes, yeah, when it comes to the time that we can buy it using INF. But I used my INF to recruit some more samurai, so I only have like a few left.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's the
About
question.
you.
Which is better? Is it to recruit or is it to buy new lands? Or it's always difficult to make these
Yeah.
choices.
yeah,
That's true. That's true.
for
That's why
sure.
I can't really consume all my INF into recruiting because I might be buying land, but I don't know how much I could buy it for. So
I don't have
I
INF that
really can't
much.
decide.
Currently, I
Yeah.
have I think 1,000 or 700. Only have 720.
We do have a new question from Yumiko.
Go
What
ahead.
advertising strategies are you planning to spread the samurai verse?
Ooh,
And
that's
this
an
is cool.
interesting
This is
one.
cool.
That's a very good question. A very good question.
Yeah, yeah.
What I'm gonna say now is something that Yannick said on the last AMA. This is going to be part of something, part of the things that we're going to be sprinkling in the next 3 weeks. So just watch out for the announcements, guys. Some good stuff are coming.
Wow.
Anyway, if
Ooh.
there are no more questions, I kind of have to go.
Yeah,
So if
for
there are any
sure.
more questions,
Yeah, I think we've run through most of it, Andy, and I think we're answering.
awesome.
Yeah, and then we covered more topics in terms of this one, and then again, thank you for joining us. This is a huge boost
Thank you so
in
much.
terms of the information that we're
Mm,
having, especially that we are on the transition for what do you call
yeah,
this, the game. So thank you, guys.
yeah, you're
Say
welcome.
thank
Glad to
you.
be here.
Yeah, thank you, Andy. Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you so much,
see ya, guys.
Andy.
See ya.
Yeah, you're welcome. Bye.
So if you have
Bye
more questions,
bye.
guys, we'll try to answer the best that we can. And then I don't know if we have some more. Do we have some more questions?
I have some
Uh,
more questions, but I gotta go now, Ulti,
Go ahead. Go ahead.
because I'm. Yeah, bye bye. Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
Bye,
Thank you,
guys.
guys. Thank you. So, do we have some more questions, guys? Paki-English na lang po. So, let's just make some shoutouts that are for the people that are in here. So, we have Yumiko. Good luck to us all. Cornelius, can we use the NFTs? Tokens to buy real world items, avail of real world services like groceries or spa. I don't think that this will be available soon, but let's wait for updates. Magkakaroon po ba ng paki-English na lang po. So, magkakaroon po ba ng function sa game kung saan may life ang samurai? It could be on the next game, so stay tuned for more updates. Mark Reblora. I think who is the last samurai? There will be no last samurai, Maana, because we could still recruit after all will be set, so you could still have some more samurai. Can we use the current? I think we've run through it all, guys. So thank you to all that are in here. So I think we've covered most of the information that are gonna affect and change in terms of our game Samurai Legends. So again, thank you to all that are in here. So to Johnny Depp, to Ace, um, to Damien Wolf, and we also have some people that are in here. We have Jones, P, and I think it was Bebop earlier that was in here on the Discord. So shout out to you guys, and then shout out of course to all our viewers. So thank you, Emir. Shout out, Ultimators, Pangasinan chapter. Shout out. Let me know you if you have still some questions, guys, and I think we've covered most of the topics that really needs to be addressed. And then yeah, we've been live for more than an hour, and so we've covered most of the topics and all. So yeah, I think that would be it for us, guys. Thank you for joining us. I think this is a very uh, good AMA wherein we've covered a lot of topics for the game. So shout out Mark Vincent Gabo. Magandang gabi. So good evening to you all, guys. This is for me. So shout out to all of you. Uh, Subscribe for more because we'll be having some more contents about Samurai Legends. We are heavy on this game, and a lot of my content is about Samurai Legends. So again, that would be me from Project Ace. Thank you guys from our team, Johnny Depp, Damien Wolf, Ultimate X, and Ace. That's it for me, guys. See ya.